Hello and welcome to a new episode of Short Track is Park Seo Jun. Today we're taking a look at Park Seo Jun, a skater who's just lightning quick. Competed for the Republic of Korea in the junior circuit last season, delivered multiple medals and multiple gold medals in the Junior World Cups, and went on to win the 2000 meter mixed relay. But his most notable achievements of last season was winning the men's 1000 meter gold medal, becoming the junior world champion that distance, carrying on, continuing the legacy for Korean men in the 1000 meters. Just a great legacy and great achievement. This kid is such a great talent as well, does so many things so well. He's ridiculously early coming out. His corner is insanely elastic and stretchy. He's got static composure under pressure and at top speed, and very unorthodox sitting position in the straightaways. It has got such superb hip flexibility and very interesting start routine as well. So we'll take all that stuff right, what it means right here in the men's 500 in the Junior World Cups, because yeah, that allows us to kind of see his technique better. So instead of the Junior World Championships, we're watching his performance in the Junior World Cup here in the Asitana. And similar to some previous videos, we'll be watching this from the quarterfinals and kind of walk you through it till the end. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, it's quarterfinal right here. Now it has a very interesting routine right here, so we're going to try to start routine. Place this a bit quicker. Now watch this. When the starting referee says go to the start, he has started. He put his right arm kind of in front of his head a bit, and look at his right thigh right here. He does something very interesting with it. Kind of stabilizes himself. His right skate, got a kangaroo start, bent sideways, and then kind of compose himself. Look at the kind of the steps that he takes, the wiggles that he takes with his right skate before the race. With his right arm composes himself. Very interesting routine before he starts the race. He does it around 9 times, sometimes 6, I don't know. Depends on the race. Does a kangaroo start. You see all skaters traditional start, but he does a kangaroo one. There's a very interesting twitch of the line. Look at how he can transfers the power and strength of the line. Doesn't take long strides, but well, he does it well. Great technique. And he gets off the line right here in position number 1. Now look at how kind of high his upper body is compared to the other skaters in the straightaways. It still helps him to carry speed pretty well. It's just something very interesting that I've noticed. Now this skater is obviously ridiculously elastic and stretchy. Got great hip flexibility. And look at right away from the start line, he just opened up a gap already because he's so quick with his strides. Got really quick strides. Not long ones, very short ones, but very quick, very fast, just lightning quick. Now look at this corner, look at how he kind of extends with his leg, superb hip flexibility. Goes really wide, look at how that corner exit right is so wide out of that corner. And look at the transition, how kind of the track pattern holds the centrifugal force so tight, carries a lot of speed, full of speed and clarity coming out of the corner. Has a habit as well kind of opening his mouth a bit while skating. Everyone has that kind of similar habit of their own. Now he does that at 44.1 kilometers per hour in the 500 meter quarterfinal. Look at how low he gets, but then goes into the straightaway and his upper body's kind of shifted up a bit. You know, doesn't feel like he's low, but you know he's carrying the speed very, very efficiently to how his body build works and how his body is made. And he's still opening gaps here, 8.82 lap times. German skater falls down. I see Park Seo Jun right, he's still carrying speed, still looking very relaxed, very composed, 2 hands behind the back. And I'll show you his corner exit right here. That's something very interesting. Now look at coming out of this corner, look at how wide he goes. Like, look at this position right here, it requires insane flexibility. Coming out of the corner, you see that left leg, it doesn't get kind of reach 90 degrees, kind of goes fully straight, so it kind of extracts the maximum amount of pressure out of the corners. But still, even with this position, he extracts a lot of pressure out of that corner and allows him to exit the corner ridiculously early, way earlier than the other skaters. And that's why he just keeps opening this gap. I mean, look at this. He's leaving them behind 8.44 lap times with 2 to go right here. He makes it look so easy. So he goes on to win this quarterfinal, goes on to the semifinal. So I'm gonna watch it displayed here, the semifinal. It's very interesting what he does. And go up right here. Yeah, right here. Now watch this. This is the first corner, kind of out of the 1500 meter, 500 meter semifinal. 6.8 seconds on the race. Now watch here. Now this is, after he took the start, right away. I'm not sure the beginning of the race. So this is a better example. So right here from the start line, here he's in position number 3 in this one. He does the kind of a routine, hand in front of his head, wiggles his leg 6 to 9 times. It really differs how many times he does it. Here there's 2 Japanese skaters in a better lane than him in this race, so he has some work to do if he wants to qualify to the A final. And he's ready here, gets down. Interesting as well, the other skater kind of lower than him on the start line. He doesn't get really low with his upper body, but still very, very efficiently carries the speed. So here he is in position number 3. See Kida Raito from Japan, position number 2, and Sasaki Taiga from Japan as well, position number 1. He has to pass both of these skaters. Now watch here in the first corner how wide he goes. His strides are very short, they're very quick and very fast, and he utilizes them so well. How when he gets into the straightaway, look at how high his upper body is. And he takes kind of his corner entry very early, look at that. Now he takes it very early, he can pass right here. Look at it, he's gonna pass Kida Raito here. Now this is the first corner. Look at how wide he goes. Now watch this inside pass. Now kind of how he drives very tight, very low with that left skate. He got superb hip flexibility. He can extend his kind of bottom part of the body. Look at how wide he goes. How he slingshots himself out of the corner. Goes up so early because he doesn't reach 90 degrees with his left leg coming out of the corner, unlike Kida Raito right here. So he doesn't extract the maximum amount of pressure out of the corner, but still exits so early, carries a lot of pressure, even when he's exiting so early, to kind of get that opening that he gets right here. And almost bumps into Kida Raito because he exits so early out of the corner. It's almost too early, but he has just enough pressure so you can get the pass and get into position number 2 right here. So this position is kind of not even half a lap, and he's already in position number 2. And same thing, kind of takes his corner entry, goes up really wide, and carries a lot of speed, 8.61 lap times. So he exits the corner so early, and then carries speed very efficiently, very beautiful with his upper body. He doesn't look too low. It gets a bit of a wave track pattern, but it's super efficient. He does it so well. And it's almost like he's kind of in the straightaways, feels like he's standing up almost while he's skating. And again, a very wide position right here. Now watch this. This leg doesn't quite reach the perfect angle, 90 degrees. It's not 100% straight. Now you want this leg to be 100% straight so you can extract the maximum amount of pressure coming out of the corner. That's where the speed comes from. And he doesn't do that, but still manages to exit the corner so early and still carrying insane amount of pressure out of the corner. And this is why he's so good at passing and at skating at top speed. And does the same thing again, takes his corner entry, carries a lot of speed, and it was just routine for him. He does it so well. 8.32 lap times. Now he's not necessarily moving faster than Sasaki Taiga here, but look at how he's just closing this gap, because he's technically skating better. He's technically way earlier with his timing. Now watch this inside pass again. It's very beautiful. Look at how he does it. Look at his body position right here. It's so kind of awkward. But he can manage to slingshot himself very early, very quick, coming out of the corner. Look at this position, it's ridiculous. And that leg is all over the place. But he managed to exit so early. Look at, and I can see that right, left leg. But it looks, it's just ridiculous. Now look at the here. It's not reaching 90 degrees. It's not straight. But he still carries so much pressure. And it's still very early, almost too early. Bumps into Sasaki Taiga right here. But he somehow, someway finds the way to make the inside pass stick. And the skater behind him, Sasaki Taiga, can't take it back, even though he might be carrying more speed, because technically, look at how wide he shifts with his legs right here. His superb hip flexibility, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't allow the skater behind him to get anywhere near him. And he's here carrying 8.21 lap times, with 1 lap to go in the semifinals. And again, he carries the speed very efficiently out of the corner with his upper body and goes kind of standing up. Now he does this to carry the speed more efficiently. So his timing's so early and it's just so good. It looks inefficient, but it's ridiculously efficient, and he does it so well. This is the final corner right here, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. He makes it look so easy, moves on to the A final. Now he goes on right here to go in lane number 1 in the A final and skates defensively to the victory. I'm going to show you how that looks like. Here we go, the A final. 1, 2, 16, right here. Pardon me. Yes, right here. So he's in lane number 1 here. 12 seconds into the race, 42 kilometers per hour, and this race is in lane number 1, so he doesn't have to pass anyone with this race, just skate defensively to the victory. So we're gonna take a look at why he's such a menace on the front. I mean, look at this position right here. Look at how he extends his right leg and how he holds the centrifugal force so tight with his left leg. It's just a perfect example of insanity coming out of the corners. I mean, how do you pass this guy? It's just impossible. And Kida right, he's kind of confused by his timing, because his timing is so early. Look at this, he's trying to build a lot of speed to keep up with this guy. But this guy kind of slingshots himself so good coming out of the corner and just opens up a gap right here. Look at the gap is going to open up right here because he can't keep up with his timing. His timing is so early. He's so confused by this guy. Carrying 8.79 lifetimes. 52.1 kil. Holy cow. It's my first time noticing this. 52.1 kilometers. Holy cow. This is so fast. I didn't notice this so fast. My goodness. And look, he's still carrying the speed very calm, very composed. Coming out of the corner. And there's 2 laps to go, 8.34 lap time. See the skater behind him, Kida Raito, is carrying more speed. And even Sasaki Taiga right here, and the skater is behind him as well. But technically, he's so hard to pass. You see right here, Kida Raito tries to set an inside pass, but there is no way because he's so early. He's way earlier and way quicker than them coming out of the corners. And that's why they can't catch him. He's too fast. He's too good. And the track pattern in his case, I'm looking at 49.6 kilometers per hour with 1 lap to go. These guys are kids, you know, they're children still. But they're skating, not skating like children, that's for sure. He does it so well, looks so calm, so composed. 2 hands behind the back here with less than a lap to go. Again, this is the final corner. You try to pass them in the final corner, but they can't. Because again, as I've said, look at this position right here. Kind of carries it, gets so low coming out of the corner, extracts so much pressure even though the left leg doesn't reach 190 degrees, and then transitions that speed to his upper body, and he's kind of standing here. This helps him carry the speed more efficiently and kind of be a menace for the skaters behind him. They can't even catch him. Kind of open up a gap and makes it impossible for the skater behind him to pass him. And these guys are pretty good, I swear, but he's such a menace, this guy. And he goes on here to win the 500 meter A final of the Junior World Cup. So yeah, such a great race, such a menace on the front of the 500. But the video doesn't end here. I'm gonna give you a bonus, something very interesting. Later on, he goes on with a team in the men's 3000 meter relay to pull off a very interesting finish right here. I'm gonna show you this. Skip here to the A final. Just gonna show you the final 2 laps. He anchored his team to victory. But we're gonna see how the hell did he do that, because it's just insane. Now watch here, this is Young-hoon Lee, position number 1, right here. He's gonna have 3 laps to go. He's gonna hand over the final exchange right here to Park Seo Jun. And Park Seo Jun pulls off one of the most insane inside passes, final corner inside passes in the history of the Junior World Cups and the Junior World Championships, and just the history of junior short track speed skating. He does it insanely well. Now another thing I want to keep in mind, as I've said earlier, this skater right here, carry is so early coming out of the corner, Park Seo Jun. Lee Young-hoon is not necessarily the same case. So when the skater that you can hand over the exchange to is exiting the corner, technically exiting the corner earlier than you, it's so hard to keep with his timing. So this happens. Look at how far he is from Lee Young-hoon, the skater behind him, compared to the Chinese skaters. They've got the timing kind of perfect. It's figured out. They know how to handle it. But these guys have a problem that this guy kind of exits his corner so early that the skater behind him giving him the push is struggling. I mean, look at how late is that. The Chinese skater is already kind of making contact, giving the exchange, and these guys still has to close the gap and give the exchange. It's too late. You know, they handed over the exchange already and he still didn't even touch him. And this is because Park Seo Jun exits his corner so early. He doesn't reach 90 degrees with his skates. But nevertheless, watch this. He pulls off one of the most insane 2 laps in the history of short track junior skating. Now taking 2 crossovers in, building up really wide. The Chinese skaters Yu Heng Li is so fast. This guy's really good. But Park Seo Jun, look at how efficiently he carries the speed, almost standing up in these straightaways. Exits the corner very early. Look at how early he exits the corner. His corners are compared to Yu Heng Li. He closes that gap, most of that gap, in nothing. The gap is closing. Here is 1 lap to go. And he's technically just so efficient at top speed. And he just closes that gap. Still closing that gap. Look, there is nothing here. He closes that gap in a lap and a half. 8.58 lap times with 1 lap to go in the men's 3,000 meter relay. You know, it's such an insane distance. It's the most aggressive in short track. You know, the pace just cutthroat. It's so fast. It's so hard to find the legs at the end of the race to make the pass. But Park Seo Jun, 8.58 lap times here with 1 lap to go. Look at how efficiently he carries the speed here compared to Yu Heng Li. He's still carrying speed very efficiently, but Park Seo Jun is just the meanest on top speed. He carries the speed even more efficiently, exits that corner so early, carries so much pressure. That corner, 8.58 lap times. Now watch how short he strides, but so super efficient. Yu Heng Li looks over his shoulder, thinking Park Seo Jun is going to come out the outside. Park Seo Jun looks up the outside, but pulls a trickery here. He does something very interesting here. Look at his track pattern. Right, it seems like it's gonna come out the outside, but bang! Look at that right skate. It's so creepy. All right, it's just so creepy. But with his left skate, holds the centrifugal force so tight and exits the corner ridiculously early. The Yu Heng Li and carries the speed very efficiently, coming out of that corner and just kicking ass in the end of that race. It's absolutely insane finish. I'm gonna show you how that looks like at top speed right here. It's just electrifying. So we're going to play this final 2 laps at top speed, show you how that looks like. See Yoon Suk Lee right here. So going to hand over to Lee Young Hoon. Look at the gap here. There's a big gap between the Korean and Chinese men, because the Korean had a lot of problems earlier in the race. Hands over to Young Hoon Lee, has to skid 1 lap right here. And the gap's still big, no? 8.63 lap times from Korea right here, but the gap's still big. Now they take that speed, comes up very late on the exchange, because Sujun Park carries the speed very early, exit the corner very early, and look at this. Look at how electrifying this is. He's so fast. He doesn't look fast, but he's ridiculously fast. Look at that. So quick, so explosive, just kicking ass coming out of that corner. Just wins the race. So electrifying, just pulchritudinous stuff from Park Seo Jun. Right, he's such a talent, such a fun skater to watch. You know, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing right here. Such a fun skater to watch, and unfortunately, he didn't make the national team this season, but he will be competing in the trials for the World University Games this season. Wishing him all the very, very best of luck. So, yeah, as you've seen, this is all I wanted to show you for today. Park Seo Jun, such generational talent in the 500 meters. Looking forward to seeing him in the future. Wishing him all the very best of luck. And, yeah, that's all I want to show you for today. And thank you for watching.